Good evening. Hi, everyone. It is my privilege and honor to welcome you to tonight on behalf of the Pella Historical Museums to the 2026 Tulip Queen's Royalty Party. The theme this year for Tulip Time is Planted in Tradition, Blooming with Fun. So this is a tradition we do every year just to introduce the new Queen and Court to the community and to friends and family. And let's just make it a fun night too. What do you say? We're all here, we all know these girls, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to offer. So I'm going to hand the mic over now to Lori Lorenz, who is on the Tulip Court Committee.
Welcome. Could we have the house lights up just a little bit? Because I'm introducing the committee that works with these girls. We spend a lot of hours with them. They probably know too much about us at this point, but and we'll know more. But we have thoroughly enjoyed these girls. We've got a great committee that really loves on them all year long. And so I would like the committee to stand, and you can wave when I read your name. Stand up, turn around. They're shy. Melissa Brock, Andrea Dana, Cindy Eekhoff, Sarah Van Wartheisen, and Allie Thomas. All right. This year's program is a little bit different. We are honoring maybe some unsung heroes in Pella's Tulip Time history, and it really takes a village. So we hope you will enjoy this. We have 5 beautiful girls that are ready to come out on stage. May I introduce for the first time the program of the 2026 Tulip Time Royal Court.
We welcome you today to share our heritage and the festival that we love. Before we get started, we would like to introduce ourselves.
My name is Lexi Terpstra. I am Abigail Brand.
Welcome. My name is Kenzie Canis.
I am Addie Van Arendonk.
And my name is Riley Brockhart. Living in Iowa, we enjoy 4 distinct seasons. After a long winter, we look forward to hints of new green grass or the song of a robin. The excitement of May and the joy of spring can be heard in this Dutch folk song. The translation is, everything is joyful. May makes it so. And the heart is fresh and happy. So come, let's dance and sing and weave the first wreath. Everything shines in full splendor. Sunshine fills the forest. Birdsong, joyful noises can be heard everywhere.
This year's theme is Planted in Tradition, Blooming with Fun. We're going to take you through the lives of the significant women in Pella's history.
These are only a few examples of the hardworking citizens that made this town what it is today.
Each brings a different flavor to our community. The story starts in the Netherlands in the 1840s.
I'm Maria, the eldest daughter of an astronomy professor. My parents ensured I was well educated and accomplished in music and art. Some may have thought I was spoiled because I always wore the finest Parisian fashions. When I was 25, a widowed dominie, or minister in English, caught my eye. Although 15 years my senior, Hendrik was so charismatic. At first, I wasn't as passionate about his beliefs of separation of church and state, but I admired his leadership. In 1845, we married, and I became stepmother to his 3 young daughters.
Religious persecution had grown in the Netherlands, and the government denied many the right to congregate for worship because they did not follow state church. Dominee Scolti organized a group to immigrate to America in 1847. However, his wife, Maria, was not enthused. Dominee and other leaders went ahead of the group to preview and select a new home. They purchased land in Marion County, Iowa, and named it Pella, which meant City of Refuge. The name traced back to an ancient town that served as a refuge for the Romans fleeing Roman persecution. This new Pella would serve as a beacon of hope for the Dutch immigrants.
Hendrik described Pella as a beautiful land. But when we arrived, I found nothing more than a hickory stick, shingles spelling out P-E-L-L-A, and a small log cabin for us to live in. Accustomed to the finer things in life, I was devastated. So I anxiously awaited for my last remnants of home to be shipped to Iowa. Upon arrival of the crates, I found all but one plate broken into pieces, much like my heart. But Hendrik was a visionary, and within 6 months, he built a beautiful new home for us to live in. I scattered the broken pieces of Delft from our log cabin all the way to our beautiful 2-story home. The home with its 10 rooms were perfect for entertaining guests, hosting parties, and concerts. I filled the home with literature, paintings, and music, as I held the role of First Lady of Pella.
Hendrik had many important friends and acquaintances, and Maria served beside him. While her social life flourished, she continued to face heartbreak, losing many children in infancy, a daughter who was 12, and then later Hendrik to a heart attack. Following his death, she traveled to Detroit for cultural events. While there, she found love and remarried. Maria and Robert Beard continued to lead and influence in Pella.
When the Dutch traveled to America, they brought only the necessities for survival. When we think of Tulip Time, we think of tulips. But the first bulb showed up many years later. We owe it to Tunja Visser for the beautiful colors that fill our city in May.
Hello, you can call me Tilly. That's what my friends call me. My husband and I came to America in 1887 with our family. Tulips were a popular flower in the Netherlands since their arrival from Turkey in the 16th century. Our sandy soil guaranteed the success of beautiful blooms. And in the 1600s, bulbs even became a form of currency during a time known as tulip mania. Tulips represented the Dutch people well because they're hardy with showy blooms. Traveling with my sister to the Netherlands in 1903, we visited a tulip field. Speaking with the owner, I was curious if Iowa soils would be suitable for growing tulips. He assured me they would, and even sent me home with a basket of precious bulbs. That fall, I planted them, and by spring, my garden was the envy of all my family and friends. These were the first of many tulips to adorn the quaint Dutch town of Pella.
Although Tilly brought tulips back in the early 1900s, she did not see the beginning of the Tulip Festival. She died in 1932, 3 years prior to the first Tulip Time.
Here, look in the garden bed, so
The first Tulip Time happened on such short notice that no one had time to plant real blooming tulips. But a cabinet maker by the name George Heron saved the day. He crafted 125 4-foot-tall wooden tulips to embellish the town. After the first Tulip Time, the citizens planted 85,000 tulip bulbs in the fall, most of which were from the Netherlands. In 1936, at Pella's second Tulip Time, the town was adorned with these beautiful flowers.
Every year, the city of Pella plants 125,000 tulips all around town in steady beds in parks. From Ile de Mar to Big Smile, which we planted, there are 80 different varieties of tulips to see. It takes 20 days to plant all the tulips. Pella continues to import tulips directly from the Netherlands. As you admire the colorful gardens, just remember, you can tiptoe through the tulips, but don't pick them.
The origins of our 91-year-old festival began with an unsung hero, Anna Wilhelmina Teisling.
I was a young teacher, Miss Teisling, when I directed the Pella School's operetta, Tulip Time. It was billed as romantic and humorous. The plot followed a group of American college students studying tulips in Holland. Their botany professor tried to keep the American boys from flirting with the Dutch girls. In a turn of events, the chaperone landed herself in jail, accused as a tulip thief. Who would have thought that the operetta would spark a festival in my hometown? After the premiere of the musical, town leaders organized the first Tulip Time with only 2 weeks of preparation. During the early years, the festival contained Dutch songs, Dutch drills, or dancing, a maypole, and antique displays. The operetta production concluded the event. I continued to share my love of music with Pella, teaching in the public schools for 40 years. You can probably still hear my voice teaching Dutch dancing. Step together, step together, step together, step, kick. I quietly left my own legacy in Tulip Time history.
Throughout the 3 days of Tulip Time, you'll hear music all around our square. Many groups come together to show their musical talents for those who visit. One of these groups are the Dutch Filmy Singers, a combination of families singing and dancing traditional Dutch folk songs. The largest group are the Dutch Dancers. Children from around Pella come together in pairs to perform in front of the grandstands, much like the song we just did for you here. Pay attention, as you may even be invited for a dance. And lastly, the Dutchesses. This group of 16 lovely ladies wear authentic Dutch costumes and celebrate our heritage through song and dance. Altogether, these groups add to the enjoyment of Tulip Time.
In Pella, we take pride in keeping things as clean as possible. When our ancestors came to America from the Netherlands, they cleaned and kept things in order on the ship. The captain sang the praises of the immigrants, exclaiming that the ship had never been so clean. When they arrived in America, the captain told the medical examiners how meticulous the Dutch were, so there is no need to check them for diseases. During Tulip Time, you can find the people of Pella in their Dutch costumes scrubbing the streets every afternoon and evening. This helps prepare the streets for the floats, children, and community members during our 6 parades. During the parade, look for the Tulip Court carriages. We'll wave to you.
You'll also encounter wonderful food when you visit Tulip Time, but the Dutch bakeries are a highlight any time of year. You might have a family favorite recipe, but most of the Dutch women did not actually bake. They got their baked goods from local bakeries. When the Dutch women came to America, the English women assisted them with their baking skills. Let's learn a bit from our historic baker's wife, Bertha Jarsma.
My husband Herman and I were born in Friesland, a province in the Netherlands. A baker by trade, he was motivated to move to America. My family moved there a couple years earlier, which was another incentive to go. Upon arriving, he tried farming, but soon learned he was born to be a baker. When a position opened at the old bakery, he got the job due to his previous experience. When the owner died in 1898, Herman and I, with the help of a few friends, purchased the bakery. I tended the store, met the public, and kept the books. The men were in the kitchen, and the women were the business managers. You know the old saying, behind every successful man, there's a woman. In the early years, the #1 bestseller was the St. Nicholas cookie. I'm assuming most of you thought it was the S-shaped almond-filled Dutch letter. Originally, these were only sold during Christmas time, the S standing for Sinterklaas. But in 1912, we started selling them year-round, and they quickly rose to become a bestseller.
This family business model continued for the next 125 years as the bakery passed down through the generations. The men continued to be the bakers, and the Jarsma family women still run the business. There are now 2 successful Dutch bakeries in Pella, Jarsma and Vanderploeg. But at one point, there were 4 bakeries in Pella. Other Dutch delights include meats and cheeses found at the local meat markets.
During Tulip Time, many vendors sell Dutch foods. Savory options include Pella bologna and Gouda cheeses.
For the sweet tooth, poffertjes, small Dutch pancakes.
Dutch letters, almond-filled pastries in the shape of an S.
Vetballen, fried donuts with sugar and raisins.
Stroopwafel. Many people don't know the secret for eating the thin wafers with caramel inside. If you place them on top of your hot coffee or tea, the steam will rise and melt the center into a gooey deliciousness.
Dat is lekker.
Have you ever had a stroopwafel? Have you ever had a stroopwafel? If you've ever had a stroopwafel, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. Everybody loves a stroopwafel. Everybody loves a stroopwafel. Everybody loves a stroopwafel. A yum, a yum, a yum, a yum, a yum. I like them with the honey and with the caramel. And when I see that funny tin, I always feel so swell. Have them with your coffee, or have them with your tea, or better yet, have one with me. Everybody loves a stroopwafel. Everybody loves a stroopwafel. Everybody loves a stroopwafel. A yum, a yum, a yum, a yum, a yum.
Besides the tulips, costumes add to the cheerful atmosphere. In the early years of Tulip Time, parents were encouraged to dress their children in Dutch costumes to cultivate a festive spirit. They made the costumes from what they had on hand.
As our festival evolved, many Pella seamstresses made homemade costumes. They shared simple patterns with vague instructions. Authenticity was not a priority, but that changed in the 1980s when a local store imported hats, fabrics, and pieces of costumes from the Netherlands. Phyllis Zylstra, a pioneer in this area, researched the clothing of different regions and helped create more authentic costumes.
I'm Phyllis. Access to the internet opened a new world in creating authentic costumes. We looked up the correct color and type of fabric and even the appropriate jewelry and buttons for each dress. Details are important. I worked alongside my business partner, Jackie, making costumes for the Tulip Queen in court. Costumes in different cities and provinces varied. As time and fashion changed, so did the costumes. Hopefully, we inspire the people of Pella to continue to dress Dutch.
I grew up knowing the intricacies of these costumes well as I watched my grandmother, Jackie Craver, sew them year-round in preparation for Tulip Time. I've worn various regional Dutch costumes throughout my life, each reflecting my grandma and Phyllis's beautiful attention to detail. I was even gifted with historically accurate costumes for my American Girl doll to wear as I carried her in parades growing up. These reflect exactly what our Dutch ancestors might have worn. My court and I are wearing costumes from Zaanstreek, a region in the province of North Holland. They show what the women there wore in the 1780s for festive occasions.
One of the most eye-catching elements include our headdresses, featuring a long silken hood covering a lace cap adorned with gold ornamental plates called books.
Our baskets, inspired by designs from India, were one of the most popular fashion trends of the day, along with the lace-edged chemisette and the Queen's silk plaid and attendant sprigged cotton aprons.
Our hand-embroidered scarves, our gold and black beaded necklaces, and our close-fitted arm warmers trimmed with ruffled lace complete our outfits.
We are so fortunate to have seamstresses who care about their craft and give us a unique way to portray our roots.
Women have been pouring love into our community and festival in big and small ways since it was founded. We hope you have a new perspective on Pella's history, and we invite you to celebrate our beautiful costumes, the colorful tulips, our joyful songs, but most importantly, the spirit of Tulip Time.
I feel it in the air, I see it on the trees. It's springtime and the tulips are a-bloomin' in the breeze. Dutch costumes get a pressing, Dutch letters being made. I think the town is ready for these special days in May. We are guests at Tulip Time in May. We are guests, come down on one fine day. Put tradition to the test, and we'll do all the rest. Taste the food.
Bologna, Poffertjes, Dutch letters.
They're great. Buy a gift, a t-shirt, a costume, some doll,
Wooden shoes.
see the sights,
Windmill, tulips.
the costume, and parades. We want you, May 7, 8, and 9. Be our guests at Tulip Time this year. Be our guests, we hope it's very clear. It's a day, please come down. We want you in our town. Be our guests, be our guests, be our
All right. Well, if you would bring up the house lights a little bit again. These lovely ladies have a nice support system behind them, and we would like to introduce them. So the girls are going to introduce themselves again and include their parents and their grandparents. And if you would stand if you are in the audience, please.
My name is Lexi Terpstra. I'm the daughter of Joel and Lori Terpstra. My grandparents are Bill and Donna Vernoy and Rich and Mary Terpstra.
I'm Abigail Brand. My parents are Tim and Katie Brand, and my grandparents are Bev and the late Denny Brand, and Ken and Betty Reefer from Davenport.
I'm Kenzie Canis. My parents are Doug and Jess Canis, and my grandparents are John and Sandy Canis and Ken and Jackie Craver.
I'm Addie Van Arendonk. I'm the daughter of Jason and Sharisa Van Arendonk, and my grandparents are Carol and Al Higginbotham and Mary and Larry Van Arendonk.
My name is Riley Brothart, and I am daughter of Joe and Jenny Brothart, and my grandparents are Joel and Deb Brothart and Lisa and Larry Dykstra.
Thank you, girls. We have some other very important people in the audience, and I would like to introduce them. I would like them also to come up. I would like to start with our pages. Miss Bronwyn Brothart, will you come on down? And you can join your sister over on that side. Thank you. And Miss Rory Thomas. And we'll have you go to the opposite side, Rory. The pages obviously are not in their costumes tonight, but they are sporting cute shirts. And Miss Tekla Johnson is one of our flower girls. Tekla, will you come on down? And Miss Lily Marin. And aren't those adorable little costumes? Once again, a round of applause for our seamstresses and the 2026 Royal Court. All right.
As the girls make their way down, I just want to take a quick moment on behalf of Pella Historical Museum and Society. We just want to extend a big thank you for all of the work that they have put in, the thoughtfulness that they just, considered their presentation and all of the unique tidbits and facts that they shared. I know countless hours have gone into that, and we just really, really appreciate everything that you've done. I want to thank another very special group of people, and I will ask them to stand. There's a steering committee that does all things Tulip Time, and without them, Pella Historical would really, I think, struggle, if I'm being honest, to put on Tulip Time in the way that we do. So I want to recognize the Tulip Time steering committee. You can just stand where you're at. They're kind of tucked under the balcony. So thank you for the house lights. Wes Chaplin and Eric Recker are our co-chairs this year. Alan Geetings, Ann Helbush, Jamie Kendall, David Newman, Christy Rosenboom, and Jen Van Gorp. If you would join me in giving them a round of applause for all of their hard work. And with that, I think I have the privilege and honor of welcoming Amy Van Haften and the Dutchesses on forward.
My name is Amy Van Haften, and my daughter Caitlin, who's climbing back there to do our sound today. We get to hang out with these wonderful high school girls that make up the Dutchesses. They are high school girls from both Pella and Pella Christian High School. There are usually 16 of us, but I am very fortunate to get all the talented girls, and so they had other things going on. So just to remember, there's a play at Pella Christian. They're doing their tech rehearsal tonight, so that took a couple girls, and Forte, and one of our girls couldn't make it back from spring break. so we are sponsored by Pella Historical Society and Museums, and our costumes are also made by the Custom Costumes Gals, and we can't thank them enough for keeping all of our girls dressed and pressed. We so appreciate them. Before we get going on our little program tonight, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. They'll tell you what school they go to and their parents and grandparents, so you can play your own little game of Dutch bingo.
My name is Brecken DeVries. I'm a sophomore at Pella Christian. My parents are Zach and Lindsay DeVries, Buck and Jane Kraft, and Larry and Rosie DeVries.
I'm Jessa Anderson. I'm a sophomore at Pella Christian. My parents are Jill and Keith Anderson, and my grandparents are Pete and Carol Verhey.
I'm Peyton Whitlatch. I'm a sophomore at Pella, and my parents are Scott and Candace Whitlatch, and my grandparents are Rich and Mary Teachout and John and Darla Whitlatch.
My name is Emma Van Dyke. I'm a sophomore at Pella. My parents are RJ and Tessa Van Dyke, and my grandma is Lennis DeCook.
My name is Rachel DeYoung, and I go to Pella High School. I'm a freshman. My parents are Ryan and Rhonda DeYoung, and my grandparents are Alan and Marcia DeCog, and Marcia Kendrick, and Bryce DeYoung.
My name is Brecken Van Eyck. I'm a freshman at PC. My parents are Chad and Derek Van Eyck, and my grandparents are Deb and Dave Vogt and Lauren and Jean Van Eyck.
I'm Adeline Hodgel. I'm a freshman at Pella Christian. My parents are Dale and Carla Hodgel, and my grandparents are Ron and Laura Branderhorst.
My name is Ella Minky. I'm a freshman at Pella, and my parents are Jeff and Tara Minky.
Hi, I'm Allie Helbush. I'm a freshman at Pella Community. My parents are Ann and Austin Helbush, and my grandparents are Joyce and Rich Nierhoff.
I'm Aubrey Blom. I'm a freshman at Pella Christian. My parents are Josh and Sarah Blom, and my grandparents are Mike and Luann Blom.
And our girls that couldn't be with us tonight are Ella Hodgel, Bella DeHaan, Amelia Carlstone, Brooklyn Sorheim, Sibley Carlstone, and Ainsley Grunendijk. So we're gonna sing a Dutch folk song for you. The first verse is sung in English and the second in Dutch. And just in case you don't know Dutch, it's about two monkeys who are scraping carrots.
I saw two kittens wearing mittens, oh it was a precious sight. Two little kittens wearing mittens, can it be that I am right? Ho, 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 ha, 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 I stood there and saw it all. Sagte up in Wortel scrubbing, oh it was in wonder. 'Twas in wonder, oh in wonder, that day up in scrubbing country. Hee, 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 ha, 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 zonder meine keker now.
And we are so excited to be here at the Opera House. If you guys remember when we're over at the Joan Farver Auditorium, if they dance, the whole building shakes. So we decided that even though we're missing some people, we are gonna dance for you tonight. So we do appreciate Emma tonight, who is filling in for one of the boys. And the dance they're going to do is called Zomerfreud, or in English, it's called Summer Joy. This lively folk dance interprets the happiness of summer. Notice how the boy chooses a girl, and then a girl chooses a boy. to these girls. They volunteer all of their time, and we so appreciate their talents and just being able to pass on our traditions on to our next generation.
Thank you so much to the Dutchesses. What Amy failed to say is that she is also a volunteer, her and Katie. So thank you very much to the Dutchess leadership as well. I am Jessie Galligan. I'm the Executive Director at Pella Historical Museums in Tulip Time, and it is a joy to be here tonight. You know, we call the Tulip Queen's announcement party back in November sort of the official kickoff to the Tulip Time season, but then it's winter and Christmas, so it doesn't really actually feel like it. This is the real, actual, official kickoff to the Tulip Time season. So it's a really fun evening. And we're so grateful for the work of the Tulip Court Committee, and everyone who makes it happen. At Pella Historical Museums, we have been the primary sponsors and organizers of Tulip Time since the second festival in 1936. And it's a real privilege to carry on this honor and this tradition, as you heard tonight, about all of the people who have made it happen over the decades. And going back to Pella's founding and Pella's history, it's really a testament to the people of this community who continue to want to make things like Tulip Time happen. And we're so grateful for that, because Tulip Time keeps getting bigger. We don't spend money on marketing anymore. We spend it all on things like porta potties and sanitation, because people keep coming. It's amazing. Tulip Time does take a lot of time and a lot of money to make happen. We spend tens of thousands of dollars to make Tulip Time happen. And we need your help to keep doing that. So thank you to those of you who are members. Thank you to those of you who are donors. We need you and we appreciate you. And in that same spirit, it's our honor tonight to gift our Tulip Court members and their families memberships to Pella Historical Museums as well. So we're excited to give you each a one-year membership to Pella Historical, and there's lots of things that come with that. You get always free admission to our museums. You get the first chance to sign up for special events and occasions. You get a 10% discount in our museum store, which is a benefit I use very regularly, so definitely check that one out. But we're so excited to share that with this Tulip Queen and Court, and we hope that you'll visit us and take advantage of your benefits with your families as we head into this season. If you would like to see the Dutchesses again, the Tulip Court again, I highly recommend that you come by at King's Day. We're having our third King's Day celebration this year, where all of these groups will be performing. This is on Saturday, May 2. It's the week before Tulip Time, so it's a time where the whole community can kind of come together and have like a little pre-celebration. We'll have our flea market, we'll have food trucks. The Historical Village will be open with all sorts of activities and fun crafts and things as well. And like I said, if you have a membership, you get in for free that day. So thank you so much for being here. We're really grateful for your continued support, and we look forward to seeing you at Tulip Time.
Good evening. My name is Jen Van Gorp, and this is a fun and special night for me. I feel like so many different parts of my life come together in one event. My personal life, my work life, and my volunteer life all in one night. I'm here on behalf of Marion County Bank, which is where I work. And ladies, I just want to say, first of all, good job. Well done. You have worked really hard. Already you have represented our community and your families and your schools and your church as well. Good job. Marion County Bank is a super enthusiastic participant in Tulip Time, and most specifically with regard to the Tulip Queen and Court. So I just want to explain a couple of ways that we are going to make sure your year is as special as we can make it be. One of those things is that we, as we have for many years, are going to sponsor, once again, the horse-drawn carriages that you will ride in at Tulip Time. I don't know if all of you dreamed of being on the Tulip Court as little girls, but if you did, I would imagine that horse and carriage ride through the town with your family and friends waving and clapping at you was part of that dream. So we are happy to make that come true for you at Tulip Time. Secondly, this is probably as much for the parents as it is for the young ladies. I don't know, moms and dads, if you have noticed, but that senior year is expensive. senior pictures, and there's a million last t-shirts and graduation announcements and graduation parties. Marion County Bank wants to help ensure that being part of the Tulip Court doesn't add to that financial burden for you. So each of the young ladies is going to receive a cash award from Marion County Bank to help offset some of those expenses, and we're happy to do that for you. The last thing is maybe my favorite thing because it involves me directly. The Tuesday prior to Tulip Time, Marion County Bank is going to sponsor a really fun and special day for all 5 of you, as many Tulip Court committees as can come, and then also your moms. And we're going to go to Des Moines. We're going to get you on a television station. We're going to go to the Embassy Club, which is so royal and fancy and special. And best of all, it is a day of work for me, and I get to come along, my very favorite day of work. So we are super, super excited for you. We are proud to be a part of your experience, and just know that your community is really, really proud of you. We are for you, in your corner, and we are cheering you on. Blessings, girls.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Maddie Van Gils, and I'm here on behalf of Lighton State Bank. It's an honor to be here for the Pella Tulip Court and for the young women here who are representing for our community this year. We're just saying for the grace, energy, and genuine pride that you are going to be giving us this year. As you're traveling across Iowa, sharing the spirit of Tulip Time, we know that with the miles and with the expenses and everything, fuel costs and meals on the go, snacks between the performances and everything, and the occasional overnight stay, whether that's going to be a quick lunch in Pella or a hotel room during the Orange City Tulip Festival up there, and cost to keep you guys fed. It's going to be a lot to go and everything. So that's why Lighton State Bank is going to be presenting a $1,500 donation to you guys to keep you guys on the go while you guys are going around the state and presenting representing our community around the state of Iowa. So we know you're doing a lot to support the work that you're doing just to present our story across the state here. So you're giving a lot of your time, especially at the end of your high school career, and that's a big duty to have, and it's a huge honor to have as well. So we're grateful for the opportunity to help relieve some of that pressure and what that comes with this commitment. And thank you for the joy and history and the Pella pride that you share with everywhere that you go. And we're proud to stand behind you as you continue with this important tradition. So good luck to you all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, mission accomplished. That was a lot of fun, right? That was a lot of fun. So I want to echo all the comments about Queen Kenzie, you and your court. What a fabulous job. Entertaining, informative. You're beautiful. Your costumes are beautiful. So we look forward to you being our ambassadors throughout the state in the next several weeks before Tulip Time. And we want to dismiss you first of all, so you can go ahead and exit out so that your friends and family can greet you as soon as I dismiss everyone else. Before I do that, we want to acknowledge and give a special thanks tonight to the Pella Opera House for allowing us to host here. So thank you for hosting us. With that, I will say safe travels to all of you, and congratulations to all you family and friends who are acquainted and take responsibility for these fine young women. Thank you, and good night.